Excited to see what else they bring.
I'm actually kind of surprised they didn't move at all from 11th, right?
Yeah.
They were in the mix during that end game right there. I think it was Mr. Savage from the trio who took some of the splashes out into the storm early on to make sure that they ended up clutching up. I mean, it's great to see them in the mix. Obviously, you know, making it to the end game pretty often, but 11th place, they seem to be kind of stuck to that position on the leaderboard right now.
Yeah, and I think that just speaks to how high quality these end games are, right? They're very top-heavy end games. Lots of our teams that are doing well already are making end games and still doing well. So it's very tough for the teams that are a little bit lower down to sort of break into that upper echelon of placement. But if they keep the consistency going, if Savage can keep clutching up like this, having that IQ that we know he has, just to be able to have that experience, that understanding of the game, to sit back into the storm, try and farm out as many placements as possible, they can try and mount an attack here on the top 10.
I mean, yeah, look at that. Top 5 with 8 eliminations. Insane work from them. Obviously, the clutch kind of coming in. They just don't move on the leaderboard, man. Yeah, it's just so tough out there.
You know what's crazy, too? Think about this year, right? Mr. Savage comes in, he's like, guys, wiping my hands, I'm not competitive.
Yeah.
And then here we are on a global stage putting on this performance.
I'm interested to see whether this can sort of reignite that sort of love that he has for the game, right? The grind factor that he has, his burning passion, desire to want to win an FNCS, because I really hope it does. I think this is a great opportunity for him. You know, they're not doing bad. They're in 11th place. They just came off the back of a really good game. They have the firepower. We've seen them performing very well in the end game as well. Maybe this is a sort of a beam of hope, if you like, for him for going forward. And we want to see him. Everyone in EU, we all love him. We were all very sad when he announced that he was retiring, but very happy when he came back. And now he's here. What a story.
Oh my gosh. Also, we can't forget Clix as well, right? NA, he's coming back. Don't even worry about it. He's putting on a show for us here. Again, though, the job is not done, right? We quickly pivot. So for not only Clix's trio, but for every other trio, we really need to make sure our strategy is locked tight.
It felt like yesterday I was almost begging for a game from Clix's trio here to just please make it to the end game as a healthy trio. You know, give them an opportunity, give yourselves an opportunity to show your game plan, show how good you are, show how good of a year you've had over on the NAC region. Again, right there, game number 7, a whole night's of rest, opportunity to go over it. Higgs is down early.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's not the ideal start for them. They've made it to the end game, which they've been doing quite consistently well so far. They're not in that position by any means. And I think they just need that one big game. Ideally, sooner the better, right? Because they're a team that does thrive on hype. I know Clix is, you know, one of the biggest streamers, if not the biggest streamer in Fortnite. He lives off of the people watching, and he wants to be in the spotlight. He wants to have that moment for himself. And that could almost catapult them. That could give them that confidence. They've just got to try and make something happen in the end game, more so, as you said. Stay as a trio, make something happen, and hopefully feed off of that hype and confidence.
Maybe that's a VR and getting rallied by like the crowd, right? Like having them to push you over the line to kind of start to build that momentum. But I like what you called out, the sooner the better, right? And it's not even just them, it's everyone, right? These little strategies with only 5 games. Guys, it's only 5 games. If we're gonna try and pull out some kind of strategy, if we're gonna try and swap our drop spot to land on someone else, it has to happen now, right? Like if we're not in this top 10, we gotta get ourselves in there.
I mean, the best time to do it would have been last game, but the best time is now, right? This is the time to switch things up. I think this is an important moment for the teams, right? They've had little feel as to what the lobby's looking like, well, what teams are doing around them, which is so crucial to the Surge meta. So now they can really make those adaptations. It's all well and good looking back at the games from yesterday. It's a completely different day. Everyone's doing different things.
Yeah, and I'll touch on the last couple of few points here from that game specifically, right? We even saw Veno. He was kind of up on the high ground. He was kind of, you know, tutoring with the idea that he could maybe take it from like 8th zone or something, kind of build up for it, and actually end up like fighting for it or trying to defend it. But hey, listen, they were kind of thinking about it, and then obviously Kanada's trio finding themselves in the middle.
No, I love breaking down things between the games. But I'm getting word it is almost that time to kick back into all of it. Never mind! That's the battle bus, so you know what time it is. Game 8 starts now.
Having a little bit too much fun with it, but you know there's so much fun to go around. We just couldn't keep it all to ourselves, Jacob. So Levin, why don't you give a big hello to everybody here for Game 8?
I had to get involved in the action, Taco. I mean, the games have been way too good. I couldn't watch for too long. I just wanted to jump in for at least the one game, if you'll have me.
I'll have you, bro. We could be here for the rest of the day. We could just put a day 3 tomorrow, and we could just cast all those games. But Levin, this fight, one that's been going all weekend long.
It's been relentless. Prodoxy's trio have had the better of them of late. But can they do it again? We know both teams can do incredibly well when they survive off spawn. But the surviving part is the hardest.
And that's the real issue here, Levin, because Tyson, Chicho, Atris is the most split that we've ever seen both of these teams drop, but we know exactly what comes next. If they're not quick with these eliminations, if they don't clear this out fast enough, somebody else is bound to roll on over.
That one looked a bit different. We're used to seeing these guys get to scrapping straight away. Both teams getting some time to loot up.
Benno actually got that first elimination onto Coyote. It looked like Yuma was trying to play aggressive and try to clean it up, but Benno just created so much distance, it made it too much of a risk to continue to try to push it down. But back and forth, these off-spawn battles looking to get chaotic more and more so. Tayson almost piecing one up, but they found an exit. Chicho is in a struggle. He goes down. That's the first one knocked, but Prodoxy's down as well. That's going to be a 2v1 situation with Tayson getting knocked. It's all a Trish to try to get away. He's scrambling around. He evens the fight up with a knock onto Pablo.
But the damage has already been done. Chino's just not healthy enough to stick around. He can't even attempt to play for that revive onto Pablo.
And this is why these off-spawn battles between these two teams have been happening so quickly. Both teams are aware that once they take a second too long, this trio is going to roll on in and make it a nightmare. Again, Chino able to get away, and maybe his trio still has hope in this game, but not the start either teams would have wanted that.
And they're still going to have to revisit some other method to reestablish all of that lost surge from those full eliminations. But Chino, still, bit of a mastermind play there. He knew the fail was the perfect moment.
This is it right now. Uncontested yet again. But the biggest difference from that last game to every other game before, there's more and more players looking up. There's more and more teams ready to contest it. But they realize there's only 6 games left throughout the entirety of the day. 5 now with 1 already done. And their chances to overcome that point deficit is going right out the window.
I mean, you know, watching it on the sidelines, it doesn't look like anything really can get in these guys' way. I think they've showed their ability to still get so many points out of games, even if it's a game where hype doesn't quite go their way. One of them still able to clutch. Can anything stop them today, Taco?
And that's the thing, though, is... But can anything catch up to them? There's nothing scarier, in my mind, than a wounded animal, and that's exactly the position that Peterbot Cold and Ritual have been in after yesterday. But Gabzetta, Way, Scarpa, they picked up exactly what they needed to. Chino's not going to have that opportunity to try and play hero.
Uh-oh, the third parties, maybe in this case, going to be a 4th party overall. They're trying to move in. Braids, Visuals, and a Minish. They realize with 105 points, that's not nearly enough, or at least not close to what they thought they'd have. So they're now just going on the hunt. Eliminations, 4 points each. They look at Gabzetta, they look at Way and Scarpa. That's 12 possible points. 1 less team in their path, and a chance to try to at least steal away some of this loot and XP.
Thinking about Gabzetta, Way, and Scarpa having priority control right now, though, on the Queen. Braids, diminished visuals. They see just how distracted Gabzetta, Way, and Scarpa truly are. They are lurking. They are creeping up ever so steadily, perfectly concealing themselves. But this is where patience and trigger discipline really come into effect.
But another team. That's a 5th party. A 5th party's now coming in towards the side. So even though Braids, Diminish, and Visuals are trying to lurk and grab some eliminations, surprise attack 1, they could be the ones that's happening to them. But Kadu, Tisco, Striker, instead of going for a lurk, they just immediately take the high ground. They said, hey, if you guys want to rotate out of Ranger's Ruin, you're going to get tagged up the entire time.
I still have no idea about a Minish's team just waiting in the wings. When that opportunity opens up, they will be ready to take it. But which team is going to play their hand first? Who will make that first move and knock the domino over?
Just a little bit of a stare down currently. Gadu, Tisco, Striker. While they had seemed initially so intent on getting involved, the way that they've now just put everything to a pause, surely this has got to work out for Visuals.
We've got to start to think so, right? We know in this lobby the thresholds for Surge are so high. Time is such a valuable currency. The more time you spend doing nothing, the less time to have to get Surge later on. Someone has to do something quickly, and I think they're starting to realize that.
Oh, but yeah, I think everybody's realizing things aren't pushing. They're not happening as quick as they should. The third party don't got their opportunity to lurk for eliminations. So Striker, Kadu, Tisco, they're gonna be the first ones rotating on out. But Arc School and Salco, look, instead of going towards the south, typically they were fighting that team, Kadu and his entire trio. This time they're pushing up towards the north. Vortex, Goofy, and Mountain are gonna be in their line of sight. School missing a crucial shot. They are in the zone, so every second is just more damage being ticked off. Salco's gonna be the first one dropped, though NA West is now in danger.
Arc, he was doing so much to carry his team yesterday, but School not gonna have that opportunity. Vortex, Goofy, and Mountain defend their current hold, but it's also making you wonder what happens to Queasy now that they've been interrupted.
Yeah, this is gonna again be a real test. Will it be a chink in the armor? Will it be another walk in the park? For our OXR HQ team, things looking like a walk in the park. I mean, we've seen them do this many of the games so far in this competition. And the crowd will chant for Vanya Bubu. They know things are looking good for their M8 boys right now. Oh! Uh-oh. Pixie will be fine. I'm sure the revive will come through. Got me excited there for a second. You know me, I like action. I like seeing the knock.
You were excited till you noticed that it was done by both, and then immediately you key back
I
in.
quickly remembered, Taco.
A little bit of that third race action.
But is it okay? There's a third party, there's a fourth party, the fifth party's towards the north. Okay, we got a sixth party now joining Rangers Ruin. Honestly, when Rangers Ruin first appeared, this is the team that said, hey, we're ready to take a triple contested fight against Prodoxy and Taze's trio. They ended up changing things up a little bit, but now they're going back to that home base where they first called it. And now they're just trying to get damage onto anybody, and this might be a good plan for a team like Cold Peterbot and Ritual that had struggles throughout the first 6 games on day 1. They're trying to figure out the formula for success here.
It's about the struggles. It's more that they've just been hopeless. There's nowhere on the map that they've been able to establish themselves. But the crash pad from overhead, getting the jump onto Scarpa, that is a big opening factor here for Peterbot, Ritual, and Cold.
Pixie Amzo hit, business as usual. And here's the thing about this team is they know how to fight. They know how to play for Surge. And I think that's why we see them in the top 10. It's just they kind of have the little hiccups, the little speed bumps towards the end game, maybe getting a little bit too aggressive, playing as individuals. We do see them kind of stuck as duos. This game around, I want to see a change up. I want to see no matter what happens, right or wrong play, they stick as a full trio. Because when you do that, sometimes miracles can happen. But you're seeing kind of one side, the north side of the map, kind of getting a little aggressive. Teams just trying to push each other in order to get their Storm Surge on the south side of the map with the zone pulling over in this direction. This is where you're going to see more and more of those Surge bases set up.
A lot more time to accrue some damage. A lot more flexibility here. Hands up. Big weekend for him. And he's delivering so far. He's with 2 experienced LAN players. But he's shown that he can hold his own. Seti isn't a fan favorite. The crowd aren't loving Seti, but Seti is used to not being the favorite. He's used to people doubting him. So he won't let that bother him too much.
Hill over here, the zone's kind of favoring them out of all 3 trios that are in this direction, but shots continue to pour in. It doesn't even look like he knew exactly where those shots came from.
And look, I fully understand that Peterbot, Ritual, and Cold, these guys are such prominent players on their region and just considered top players overall. But even still, there's only so many drops that you can actually practice efficiently, and that has been a real thorn in their sides throughout this weekend.
Oh, no! The classic! They dropped down the Surge base, and with that fall damage, that's easy Surge for them. It's raining loot, and a chance for them to come back.
That is so sweet.
Not for paper. Victor, Epic Whale. But one team's slip up, a little bit caught lacking. That's exactly what the adaptations you have to kind of anticipate heading into a day 2 format.
It's on the feed. Gage is going from that to getting another knock around the map. Panada bolts, rapid, They haven't had to move far from their actual initial drop spot. You see them saving the slurp truck down below for those extra heals. Seeing Rapid just kind of